Well, here we are. We're talking about Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I had high expectations going into this one. I seen the trailer. I only watched the trailer one time simply because it looked good. That's it. I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to see a second trailer. I'm happy. I know I'm going to see it. I'm excited. I liked the tone of the trailer, so that's what really got it for me. And that the mummy was a young girl rather than, some guy. So I didn't realize till I got into the cinema and had a quick look at my ticket. It was over 2 hours long, which I thought oddly long for a horror movie. But I can see from watching the movie why it was 2 hours. It really eases in to the horror. And although over 2 hours of a movie seems a lot in this day and age, I mean, it seems kind of normal now. If you watch Netflix, every damn movie is 2 hours and always way too long. But for this movie, it really worked. I enjoyed that it was over 2 hours, that they eased into the horror. So last year, I think this is true, I believe this to be true, it's been the biggest year for horror in cinema history. They had the most movies out, and so I seen a lot of horror movies last year, and a lot of them blend together. A lot of them I can't even remember off the top of my head what they were, because they blend together. They're very meh movies. They're like streaming movies that got to go to the cinema for the most part. Not the likes of Weapons or Together or something like that. They were great movies, but most horror movies are very forgettable, and you're like hoping when you see the trailer of a really good one, something that really catches you, you're hoping, please let this be good. Let there be a good story to it, because that's the hard part with a horror movie, the story. Why I like Weapons, even though at the end I could have done with a bit more to the ending of that movie, but Weapons had a good story. It kept me interested from the start to the finish, which is very hard for a horror movie. They have limited budgets, and usually it takes place in a house, and that's it. So they can be very, forgettable. But not with this movie. This movie is really good, really good. Like I said, over 2 hours long, eases in to the horror of it. It really sets up the story. I don't really want to give anything away about what happens, and I would love to. I'd love to talk more in depth about it, but it's how they get from where they live in Egypt to home in the States, and what happens is a longer journey than it would be in a regular horror movie. But it really works in this. It takes its time to get there. So I really enjoyed that. And that's where it really takes off, is when they're home back in America, in the house, which, goddamn, every horror movie, they're in the house, the lifeless house. That, I would say my only two nitpicks on this movie. One is the house thing. Horror movies, like, they're in these houses that seem lifeless. There's 5 people, I think, in this house, and it still seems like everybody is super far away from each other. Like, if something's happening over here in this room and it's kind of loud, nobody else hears it. It's one of those things I hate. And this movie actually had a second thing that I don't like in horror movies, is the VHS tapes. Yeah, VHS tapes. I just don't like when they use VHS tapes in movies for modern day. Who has any of that? Who has VHS tapes or videos, recorders? Like, who has that? We have phones. We're past DVDs at this stage. Why do they have them? I don't know. So I didn't like them two things, but they are tiny nitpicks, really tiny nitpicks, because the movie really, once it gets to the house and it gets into the horror element of things, the gore, the scares, it starts, and it is something else. It is a lot of fun, and a lot of fun in the cinema. I was squirming in my chair and trying not to look, but actually wanting to look, and it was fun. It was a really, really fun movie, and there was no crazy acting performances bar Natalie Grace, I think is her name. She plays Katie in it, and she was she obviously, because she's the mummy in it, she has the best role, and so her acting performance was fantastic. Everybody else does a good job. Nobody too bad. Maybe the cop detective in it, I didn't find her acting performance great, but other than that, everybody else was good. There's a little girl in it. She's I can't think of her name now off the top of my head, but she's the younger sister in it. She had one or two scenes that were pretty out there, and she done really well. All that said, is this a movie to go see in the cinema? Is it one to wait and stream at home, or is it one to pass on? I think it's pretty obvious from the way I'm talking about it. It is definitely one to go see in the cinema, 100%. I hope you get to see it with a crowd. I hope there's a lot of interaction. You have a lot of fun with it. Go see The Mummy. You will not regret it. And yeah, thanks a million, and I'll talk to you next time.